anything. It's the greatest find yet. Nothing compares to it.
But it's definitely something you should hear.
This is The Real Deal with Larry Lawton.
Welcome to The Real Deal with me, Larry Lawton. We have a great show today. It is the first Monday of the month, and now we have a Fan Appreciation Monday. We're calling it every first Monday. Like at the last Friday of the month, we have Crime Podcast with Ski, the criminal expert. You like that? It was a pretty good show, wasn't it?
Yeah, I liked it.
I liked it a lot. That is Nick, of course, the producer, and we are going to have that every Monday. So we're going to be calling a few fans, or we know a couple want to talk to us, and we put it up on our community page on YouTube and a couple other places. We're going to be putting it up, so you could just throughout the month, you can just, hey, I want to be on the show. Call. We do the show that last Friday of the month in the morning, so about 11 o'clock Eastern, give or take. Give yourself some time, and we can call you. And when you can talk about anything, any topic you want. Before I do get started in the show today, I want to thank, of course, Oliva. Oliva is our sponsor on the show. They are great people, and I love them. I really do. They're good people. I love working with them. They are the maker of the great Crooked Diamond cigar right here. You know, I'm going to tell you about something happening about that in a minute. Also, we got my book, Gangster Redemption, and my other book. Where is that? That's around here somewhere. The cookbook. It is over there, and the cookbook is doing great, everybody. It's now we got pre-orders, so make sure you get them in before they are gone. As the cookbook. So make sure you get them. You can get them both. Great book, man. And it's about stories. It's about the recipes. It's about stuff in prison. So you guys will love that. So we got that going on. Just check us all out and all what we're doing. We're having a lot of fun with it, aren't we, Nick?
Oh, yeah.
And you know,
Oh, yeah.
a couple of things I want to tell you. First of all, I got a text message from my cousin. You know Cheryl, my cousin.
Yes.
I love her. And her niece and nephew, they live in Texas. I sent this a box of cigars. And the actual text read, and I'll have to read it to you because it's pretty good. The text said from Cheryl, my cousin, and she said, sent this text, and in it she had a picture of her family reading it. It says, he said, might be the best cigar I ever had. Because they were smoking my Crooked Diamond cigars. Yeah.
How old are they?
Oh, no, old. I mean,
okay.
45, 50 or whatever it is. He's, Cheryl's my age, so I don't know how old. Maybe 40s, in his 40s. And he said, best cigar ever. He's a cigar smoker. So I think that's pretty good. That we get great reviews on the cigar. I have to say that. Yep. Yeah, the reviews are great. But, today's show is Fan Appreciation Day. We're going to start with that. Then I'm going to talk about a topic that I was actually online, and I was yeah, I was watching I was watching a Patrick Bet-David and a Andrew Tate video. Now, I'm not a fan of Patrick Bet-David per se. I mean, listen, he does his thing. I don't think he questions hard enough. I think he doesn't have, I don't know if he doesn't have the balls, he just doesn't want to do it. I don't think he pushes back, enough.
Well, it also seems like he interviews everyone that he agrees with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You don't see him getting somebody on that show that has a little bit of a different opinion. And I love different opinions. People come here, and I don't care. I'd rather debate someone. If you could change my mind, change it. And I believe in that. I believe everybody should be able to change their mind if it's enough. I mean, you know how hard-headed I am, Nick. But if you convince me, you have, on certain things, I'll change. And
we had a whole heated argument about streaming platforms the other day, and it was... that one was difficult.
No, and I was right. No, we were talking about TV and streaming.
We were not talking about TV. We were talking about streaming. And it kept getting to TV somehow.
Well, of course, it said in the Google research, streaming TV.
And then when I looked it up, nothing popped up.
But I showed you it said streaming TV.
But when I looked it up, nothing showed up with the word TV.
Well, because he typed in not TV. So, I mean, I didn't have to. I just said, because they were talking about TV. But anyway, that's a long topic we're not going to get into. First thing, we're having Fan Appreciation here. So what I'd like you to do, Nick, is if you can get a hold of here, hold on, I'll get a hold of him right here. We have Cabby Bob. And now, Bob is a guy who's been on the show. He has great stories. He's a big fan. He listens to all our shows. And I thought it'd be a good idea him to open up Fan Appreciation Day with somebody like him, because he's a big fan of the show. And we're going to find out why and all that kind of stuff. So here he comes. And let's see what he has to say. Can you put it up? There you go. Okay, this is Bob. He's been on the show, and and he's a good guy too. One of those good guys.
How you doing, Larry?
Hey, Bob, there he is. Oh, put him down ahead. Okay, how you doing, Bob? Good morning.
I'm doing great. How are you today?
Very good.
Long thoughts from you.
Yes, what we're
Good.
doing to let you know is every first Monday of the month after the crime, because the last Friday of the month is we have the crime guy, Ski, former SWAT guy, ended up killing 2 people, shooting 4, and he's really good about it. He's a real good speaker, and he knows how to explain a topic. And we had our topic on swatting and a couple other things yesterday. Guns. Last
Young
Friday.
kids owning guns.
Kids owning guns and stuff of that nature. And now, with the Florida law changing that, it's now open carry. You can now carry anytime you want in Florida.
Well, it's not
Right.
open carry.
Not open. You can actually carry concealed anytime you want. But anyway, so we
Just
went
don't need
into
a license.
yeah, you don't need a license anymore. So we talked about that. But now every Monday, the first Monday of the month, we're going to have fan appeal. We're going to start putting it up everywhere. And we're going to have fans call in. They could ask any topics. And usually I ask who they are, which Bob is actually a guy who's been on the show a few times. He's great. He's a former New Yorker cab driver, which makes him really interesting. And he's a good guy, too. And he's been following the show from the beginning. And that's why I wanted to call you anyway. And I said, let's talk to Bob, find out why he likes the show, what he believes, the whole kind of what we're doing.
I like about the show. I mainly listen to when I'm in the car, driving to work, driving home from work, and when I'm out by myself driving. It's a very interesting show. A lot of the guys that you have on are super interesting. Like that Matt Cox.
Oh yeah.
That was a good show.
That show was phenomenal. He was just so bold and doing all the crazy stuff. J.D. DeLay, when he was on, and I was talking to the one guy at work who listens also, his story about sitting down and having a sandwich in the middle of robbing that house.
Oh, was that hilarious?
He didn't give a fuck.
That was a great, yeah. He's just to let you know, he was here. And, I have these guys, Bob, you know me pretty well. So if anytime you want to come in, that some of these guys, I'm going to have Torres, I'm going to let you know when that's on. But also, any of these guys, if you hear me talk about and you say, Larry, if there's somebody, I could shoot you a text, that. And you could come in and sit in. We had people sitting in the last show that came from St. Louis.
Yep.
And we've had people, we had 9 kids come. We talked about it, that show. 9 kids came. Did you hear that show?
Yeah. I've heard them all. I'm a little bit behind. I didn't hear Friday's show, but I'll be listening to that one this week. But yeah, I've heard them all. Those kids were pretty fun. Down over here, pick of all places, Melbourne.
Right. Hey, I said I should be on the Tourist Development Council there. Cause
there you go.
I mean, listen, we're bringing people. 9 kids rented a house here, drove here, eat here. They rented car, or they didn't rent. They own their car. But it's amazing, they came here. And this is not like a tourist destination, but I wouldn't think it is at all.
No, not
I don't know how I
Melbourne. I
ended
could
up
see
here.
maybe Cocoa, but yeah.
Yeah, Cocoa Beach, maybe the Space Center or something like that, but definitely not Melbourne or downtown Melbourne, except for the roast beef sandwich. Now, the next time you're on, Bob, you got to come because I take guests over to have the best roast beef sandwich in. Listen, it's the best roast I've ever had. Nick too, I think, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And if you've never been there, Bob, it's Main Street. The Main Street.
I've been to Main Street. I've never eaten a roast beef sandwich.
Oh, you're
but,
missing out.
I talk about it. Hey, man, we'll have to try that. Even I said the guy who was at the cigar thing, Kyle, who was over there that night. We talked about that. I mean, when they at lunch here, we got to run down and grab that roast beef sandwich Larry talks about.
Yeah, matter of fact, you guys, that was not. That was a great event, wasn't it? Man, it was packed. I mean,
it was packed. I was surprised at just how packed it was. I got there about 7:00. Lucky to get a seat at the bar, and it was difficult to get a drink. That's how busy that it was. But it was a fun time.
It was.
Glad I went.
It was definitely, and I thank you for coming. And the guy Kyle, thank him too. It was really a good event. And I had no idea it'd be that packed. I got off the plane that morning, from Vegas. I took the red eye back, and because of the party, and it was just so packed. I'm glad I didn't miss it by any chance.
While I was there, I was like, "Oh, thank God we didn't miss this, or our flight got delayed." Because last time we missed a flight and we missed a meeting.
Oh, we missed a big meeting. That's when they that stupid airline I'll be talking about after I spoke to the lawyer. We ended up missing a meeting in Miami because our flight got dinged. We had to get a hotel at the place, out of town and all that. I hate to fly, Bob. I don't know about you.
I next year I'm not even going on flying for vacation. I've changed my mind, but we're going to go down to the island. I do fly out. I got 2 flights to go this year. One up to New York for a wedding. My niece is getting married, and the other I'm going down to Antigua in October. But yeah, it's turned into such a nightmare flying. The cancellations, the seats are so small. They treat you rudely. I've had it. You know?
I am so he's so right, and you were 100% right, Bob. Because we're big guys. I'm back to my 230, 232, whatever it is. But you're right. It's because I'm wide, and it's like the seats are small, and you're right. It's just like a cattle car. You're going in. It's the airport. You got to walk forever to the gate, wherever that is going to be. And
you park at the wrong side every time.
It's just, man, I get. You'd think I'd know by now, but it's really just one of those things. Obviously, the only thing I keep thinking of is, Larry, shut up. It's a lot better than a 24-hour drive, to get to New York or whatever, 20 hours to get to New York, if you want to drive straight through or something. So
it's 20 hours to get
It's
there
about 18 hours, something like that, give or take if you stop or whatever. I mean, you can make it maybe in 16 and a half, depending on where in New York. If you get traffic, you hit Washington traffic. There's a science to going up to New York. I mean, what times to hit it. Hitting Jacksonville, hitting these cities.
Oh, yeah, anytime I drive anywhere, home, I don't want to be in Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta's another bad city, man.
2 o'clock in the morning.
You ever drive to New York, Bob?
Is awful.
Yeah, it's funny. The last time I did was probably about 4 or 5 years ago. My brother-in-law, he had to take it up there quick, so I met him in Orlando, and we left. It was like 4:30 in the morning. I parked my car, by the airport. I was going to get a single flight home, and what's amazed me though was, and you had mentioned it, the traffic in Georgia sucks.
Oh.
It's 2 lanes, and you're doing 50, 55 miles an hour. I can't take that. And so somebody out in the fast lane is doing that. And then, the huge gaps, the accordions. And in South Carolina, I thought it'd be better. But this was on, it was like Good Friday weekend, Easter weekend. I figured, we're driving up here on a Saturday. Traffic shouldn't be bad. It was awful. And we still made it in like about 16 hours, 17 hours. We flew when we could. My brother-in-law is a retired cop. By the time we got to Virginia, he just drove like a lunatic and was like, anybody pulls me over, I'll badge him,
I have one of those, and I'm worried. I once used it a couple of times. I don't use it per se. I'll open my wallet, and it'll be there, and I'll go, who do you work for or something? And
this just fell out. Whoops. Look at that little thing right there.
Yeah.
But, it's so crazy. Go ahead.
When I was a kid just in high school, we went down to the Jersey Shore. My old man had this big Bonneville. And we go flying down the Garden State Parkway. That's when the speed limit was 55. We're doing 75 or 80, and I see this unmarked car coming up. I'm like, this has got to be a cop. Sure enough, man, Jersey Trooper pulls us over. My man just gets out of the car and opens his wallet and shows the badge. Not even like, here's my driver's license. And then I'll never forget it. That trooper said, you know what? Because I pulled over 10 cars today. 9 of you sons of bitches are NYPD. Can you please drive safely?
But, back then, they totally, actually, up in New York, to this day, they respect the badge, any badge. If you have a badge in New York, I got caught, not caught. I was on my phone. You can't be on a phone. It's a $250 ticket in New York if you're on your phone. So I'm in a rent-a-car. About a year ago, year and a half ago,
like
whatever.
Downtown New York?
Anywhere in New York City, the boroughs, anywhere. And I don't know, I was going over a bridge. I think it was in the Bronx or whatever. And I get lit up, and I go, what did I do, And cop pulls me over, comes up to the window. I open my wallet, and there's my badge. He looks, he goes, who you work for? I go, St. Louis. He goes, oh, you go, just to let you know, you can't be on your phone in New York. It's a $250 ticket. He goes, but go ahead.
You should have pulled out your laptop. And
No,
put it there,
he goes, no, but go ahead.
Yeah.
And that was it. They respect the badge in New York, very much so. And it should be. Don't get me wrong. People think I'm all, when I go against, I don't go against law enforcement. I go against bad cops. I mean, when I say bad cops, that's not a bad cop. That's what a cop should do. The cop that's bad is who harasses a citizen for all the wrong reasons. Goes into a house and is trying to help a kid and sees something in there and then like, oh, I got to arrest your kid. No, you fucking don't.
Let's flip it about what if a cop pulls over a drunk cop? What should they do then?
He should make sure he gets home safe in some way or
But
another.
it doesn't matter that he's drinking and driving.
Again, I believe in camaraderie. I believe in brotherhoods. I believe in.
But then how many times?
That's like a mobster's.
How many times can you escort him home before you're like, okay?
I mean,
dude,
you got to talk to the guy. If you appreciate him and you know him, definitely not. In other words, he should talk to his friends and say, "Listen, man, I can't be doing this. I'm going to get in trouble." And I get that part. If a cop can't get in trouble, I don't want to see a cop lose his pension or something. And I get that part of it. But I don't. I'm just a believer in the brotherhood of anything. Listen, I'm a cabbie and Bob's a cabbie, and we're in New York. Help me out. Do the right thing, whether it's breaks or whatever. That's how life. I grew up with my age and Bob's age. We're exact same age, Bob and I. Matter of fact.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. I mean, a few days apart.
17 days. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. 17 days apart in the Bronx. Yep.
Yeah, both of that's white. That's weird, man. But anyway, and I just believe in that, and that's even like I believe in the parts of YouTube I like. Most YouTubers help each other.
Yeah.
And I like that. That's called a brotherhood. And I do it a lot. So I believe in that. And it happened to me, and it still does. So I do believe in that. I don't believe it should be a cutthroat world all over. So I don't know. Where are you at that, Bob?
I agree with 100% on that. There's always that brotherhood, the familiarity, that happens, whether it's, a job, you're in the service. And, my brother's a firefighter, and the brotherhood that those guys have is unbelievable too. I've met firefighters sometimes, and you just mentioned to them your brother was a firefighter, and they welcome you.
And they'll help you at the house with moving, and I know that from Aldo, my former girl's son. He's a lieutenant in the fire department, and they get together. They are strong, man. They are very, very good, and I believe in that. That's why when he once got a ticket for pissing by a cop, I couldn't believe that cop. I mean,
that's so messed up.
I mean,
dude.
can you? He was at an event. He was at, and he didn't expose himself to people.
No,
he went behind a tent in a bush to go take a piss because there was no porta john, and the cop gave him a ticket. Can you believe that shit? Or arrested him, but it's a ticket arrest or whatever the fuck it is.
You arrested him?
Well, technically, it's not. You didn't bring him in, but you get that ticket. You have to appear in court, and it's actually like an arrest. Oh, it's fucking stupid. It's like arresting someone on a golf course who pisses. You know what I mean? What the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck! I pissed right at the tee. I don't give a shit. But so it's crazy. But and I just believe in all brotherhoods. Call it what it is. Just like a prisoner. If a guy's an ex-con,
I think that's a mob
mentality. Maybe it is. But if a guy's an ex-con, I'm going to try to give him the benefit of the doubt or help him or something like that. I always will. Glad he's out. Make sure. Hey, he made his fucking mistake. I don't give a fuck what. Unless he's a pedophile, then he's done.
He's not. They aren't in the brotherhood.
There's no brotherhood. But that's my thing. So, Bob, on the show, what do you want to see us do coming up? Because you guys always good opinions.
Yeah, I love some of that review you did on Cocaine Bear. I don't think it was on the show. That movie was actually funny as all damn hell.
It was a funny fucking movie.
Some of that, so it had some funny scenes in it. I love the topics that you guys would bring up. Like, you talk about the psychedelics and all, and they just saw Australia just legalize that treatment. So, that's a good topic to bring up.
Oh, I love that too. Yeah, because I like psychedelics.
The one topic you guys always bring up, and I always mean to say, well, science says no, is the Loch Ness Monster. And here's the scientific reasoning behind that, why it can't exist in that loch. There is not a big enough food source for the Loch Ness Monster.
Ooh, I didn't think of that. Yeah.
And they went down to the concentration of plankton. They said, well, whales eat plankton, but the concentration there is not. So they said, therefore, there's no legitimate food source. So that's why I say, the Loch Ness Monster does not exist, at least in the loch. But
it might exist in the ocean.
It could exist in the ocean. There would be food sources for that. But maybe the Loch Ness Monster grabbed that Titanic submersible.
Oh yeah,
we can always start that rumor.
Yeah, we went over that one too. I mean, obviously, I did that one because I was in the Coast Guard. We did that. I actually swam in the Mariana Trenches too. So I understand. We had swim call there. And you want to talk about, wow, that's pretty wild. I think about, man, if you sink, goodbye.
See you.
Never get in your body.
Yep. I did send you something on. There's that one Netflix show on called Web of Make Believe or something. And they had that show on swatting.
Oh, really?
Was like
I don't remember getting that, man. I'll have to look it up.
I'll text you the info on it.
Yeah, please do.
Finished watching. Yeah. I just finished watching the last episode today on that, where the guy actually fought the system with some electronic surveillance. They used a thing called the Stingray, but the series, it's called like Web of Make Believe. But I'll forward it over to you. I'll text it to you. A great show on swatting.
Oh, I gotta watch that, man.
Killed.
Yeah, because
I thought about you.
Listen, I'm telling you, that was a freaky. We talked to Ski about that Friday. It's a freaky thing, you know, because you just don't know. You know, I mean, like, I had a phone in my hand when I opened that door, and keep thinking about that. They could have wiped me out, and you, trust me, they would have got away with it by saying he's an ex-con. We didn't know. We looked up his record and all this shit, and before you know it, I'm you know, this big evil guy, and all of a sudden they just and you know, people who know me say, "Fucking Larry didn't do it." You know what I mean? He's in his office all the time, pretty much. But
my brother got swatted once.
Your brother?
Yeah, he was down in Fort Lauderdale, and he lived in a condo, and you know, he's sleeping, and you know, somebody who had a grudge against him swatted him, and
what?
Wow.
You know, he's all drunk and everything, you know, and he's got guns in the house, and you know, he had the AKs and that whole type of thing. Yeah. So, but he says, hey, you know, the cops drag you out of the house and they throw you down on the ground and they treat you like you're a piece of shit. And I'm like,
yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that even happened to regular, like, you know, like somebody who's not even in my business or whatever. That's crazy, man. Because I just keep thinking, if somebody walked into this house and I come out of bed like a rocket, and you know, I got a bat next to me, I got this, I'm coming at you, man. It's if I heard that door open at night, I'm gonna get that.
Well, it's not gonna open; it's gonna be kicked in.
Well, I'm gonna hear that.
Yeah, for sure.
Whatever.
It's not gonna be a peaceful open. It's gonna be a scary open.
That's gonna that will blow me away, man. And then I'm coming out, and I know me. I'm not gonna sit in the room. I'm gonna like charge. That's just the way I am. And they're gonna see this fucking big guy coming at him with a bat. You know, what are they gonna do?
I'll have to get you like an iceberg video on swatting, like you know, those videos I've been showing you, just like the history of.
Well, that's what Bob is saying. Yeah. He's on a Netflix show, right? Wasn't it, Bob? You said.
Yeah, Netflix. Yeah. It's called like the Web of Make Believe, and I think the first or the second one was on swatting. It was actually.
Wow, we're gonna have to watch it.
It was like 5 episodes.
Now, and let me ask you a question. You heard me talking about the Naked podcast. Did you ever hear me talk about that?
I did. Yeah, we spoke about that when I was over there.
What do you think? What do you think of that? Would it be intriguing to be listening, like thinking, "Wow, are they really doing it?" Or you know, is the girl that, you know, is her nipples sticking out? Is the guy getting hard? Would it be? I keep thinking it would be an interesting show because you're going to be talking about nudity, nude beaches, and comfort levels, and everything you did, sex or whatever. So.
Well, I mean, Larry, how do you know if I'm dressed right now? I can walk
probably naked.
Larry's mind's going wild.
Now I'm thinking. Wait, I know Bob. Wait, no. Yeah, maybe. I love it. I'm just thinking, if you're talking about it and thinking, oh, are they or are they not? You know what I mean? And if I do it, I'm going to do it. And obviously in the video, I don't know, you can maybe you can't put it naked, but you can blur it and stuff like that.
Right.
You're going to lose an editor.
You see what he said? I'm losing an editor. Oh.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know if there's that much upside to it. You know, it might be interesting the first 5 minutes. I don't know if there's that much upside to it. You know?
Exactly.
Well, I mean, I think the topic alone, I mean, nudity and nude beaches and stuff could be a good topic too. I mean, you know, people are intrigued about where you can go. Are they good? How do you do it? How do you feel? You know, people, the first thing they ask me, because I go to nude beaches, and they'll say, oh, isn't everybody walking around with a heart on? No, some do, actually. But, you know, you will see. But some, obviously, not me. I mean, it's just, maybe it's age, or maybe somebody used a pill. I don't know what they did. But it's not like you're looking... what I realize mostly is there's so many body types and there's so many not perfect body types that you feel comfortable whatever you are. Does that make sense?
Well, it makes a lot of sense, because the first time, you know, we started going down to the islands, we were going over to St. Martin, and they had the nude beach over there at Orient Beach. And I said to the wife, we're going. And she's like, I don't know if I'd want to go. You know, you're not really a prude. I mean, she's not going to. You know, she's not into nudity like that, but she's not a prude. And she says, well, you want to go over and see some fat old guys naked? That's all you're going to see, right? So I thought about it. I go up to the gym about an hour later, and this guy comes walking out of the shower completely naked, and he's about 420.
Oh,
And I'm like,
Jesus.
yeah. I said, maybe the wife's right. So when we went down there, it was funny. There wasn't a lot of people nude on the beach. It was the cruise ship was there. But one woman who was on the cruise with us, she was topless, and we're talking to her. But then we went up to the bar to get a drink, and she walks up and she sits at the bar and just plops her boobs right on the bar. And it was funny as all hell,
Oh, that was good.
The bar there,
I had gone, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. At Orient Beach, there's a lot of bars. But we went down to St. Bart's, and they have some of the nicest nude beaches down there. And we went on to the south end of the island where they have them. But there was no nudity. The big reason that I went is the beaches are so remote and just beautiful. I mean, the sand, everything, they're world-class beaches. But I was like, if there's other people nude, yeah, I'm getting nude. But there wasn't. We could have gone down to the one end, but I was like, yeah. And there were some, teenagers, some parents there with their kids. I was like, yeah, that'd be kind of rude. But no, I would get nude at a nude beach. And like you said, I mean, if everybody's walking around naked, it's not like they're all models and movie stars. You're not seeing that. You're seeing.
Yeah, no, totally.
Picture all those people. Yeah.
Like a good confidence.
I always say I look better in clothes, but I do
agree with myself too.
But Bob, what you said is true. See, I do go to nude beaches, and I've been most of them in the state of Florida. I've been to Haulover Beach. I've been right up here, Playa Linda. I've been to Blind Creek. I've been across the state to Lido Beach. Now, I like the West Coast because the sand is actually cool.
Oh, it's much better.
The sand is cool. There's no hot sand on your feet, so you walk in.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's cool as hell. It does not absorb the heat for some reason. So the sand is just always cool. It's
There's
so
a lot
cool.
of shells here.
Sure.
Huh?
There's a lot of
If I'm
shells
trying
here.
to impress some woman, yeah, there are. But over there, the beaches are better. But I'm trying to impress some woman and I'm naked. How does it look like when I'm dancing around because my feet are sore?
Yeah, exactly. Good. He's right. I was at a nude beach a few weeks ago, and the sand was hot, so I'm like, run into the water where it's cool. You know what I mean? I'm like, am I running because I'm trying to hide, or no? I wasn't, but it's funny. And but it's like I look at that, and my thing is, and I like nudity because I feel free. It's something about like in the woods or you go camping, and I'm a member of AANR, which is American Association of Nude Recreation, and it's literally where you go RV to a nude recreation park, and people start thinking, oh, it's so natural, and if you take the sex out of it, because I don't like when people put everything on sex. It's not. It's just about the feeling of being free. And it's a feeling of like, listen, we look at nudity sometimes such as a dirty thing, and it shouldn't be viewed as a dirty thing. Sex shouldn't be viewed as a dirty thing. It's fun. It's that's why I'm a person who just doesn't care about what people do. Everybody should do what they want, long as they respect it. If it's a nude beach and it's a family nude beach and you want to be there, you're teaching your kid that it's not bad. No sexual things towards kids. No, listen, they won't accept that, and I agree with that. And but as far as nudity it's natural. Why do people have to put such labels on everything? And
well, yeah, a number of reasons, right? I mean, that's the way you were raised, and then the whole insecurity thing enters into it too, right? So
yeah, I often wonder if people worry about themselves. You know what I mean? Well, I'm the one that's the pervert here. Listen, we're all perverts in our own way, but meaning like in that regard, I get what you're saying, and I just don't. I like it, and that's why I keep thinking about the nude podcast. I will do one. I'm letting everybody know that. I'm just going to say, I hope the people don't I want them to think, because the topic will be what we're doing with the two girls here. I want to get two girls who are who are very comfortable with their bodies, whether they're strippers or whatever, and see how they look at it, how they look at being nude in front of guys or people or whatever. How do they like the sex? Is it just about maybe they like sex with clothes on? I don't know, but it could be. I think people just want to know about something like that, because I always would, want to know about something like that, especially with people who not just frequent nude beaches or people who are strippers or in that kind of trade. You have no thought on that,
You
Nick?
talk about it every week, so.
Well, I'm going to do it. I'm preparing you.
Every single week. This conversation's not new, so.
Well, I'm preparing you for it.
Okay.
Nick will have his
It's time
pants
to
down to
jump
his
on.
ankles under the table, ready
Jump
to
to
go.
the next conversation.
We'll get him a
That's
pasty
all.
or something,
Yeah, pasty. Male pasty. I'm wondering how long we'll be talking about it before the topic gets to regular and people
Hopefully
just
it's
forget
not
about
every
it.
single week. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about as far as the topic that day. You know, I mean, I don't know how far it will be. You know, it's happening. I'm letting everybody know it's happening.
I mean,
So
you say it twice a week, every week.
well, I have to do it now. I'm just going to prepare it and let it go. So I'll let you know.
Yeah, just do it. Yeah.
I'm just
Shoot
going to
some
let them know.
feedback. Yeah. That's it. Just show up one day and.
Well, we're going to
someone
let
at the
people
door
know
taking
the
clothes.
show. We're going to let the show know this is a special show, you know, and we
Yeah.
got 2 special guests, and I'll name the girls. That's it, and that's it. But anyway, Bob, I want to thank you for for us calling you. You've been a fan for a long time. You've been a great guest, and you're welcome in here anytime you want. You know that.
All right, I appreciate that, Larry. You take care. Nick, good talking to you.
Yep, you too.
Yeah,
Have a
he
great
comes
4th
here
of
too to
July.
let everybody know. Bob will come here after work sometime. I remember that time we had a couple of cigars. That was fun, and had a few drinks. It was good. But all right, Bob. Thanks. Have a great holiday. Have a great 4th, and we'll be seeing you soon.
Take care. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
You got it, buddy. That is Bob. Cabbie Bob. He's a great guy. He really is. And I got to know him because he knows a buddy. Mark, my friend from New York for 50 years. And wow, think about that. Over 50 years, I know Mark. And it's just
a long time.
That's a long time.
And you and Peter, all
Peter,
your friends.
yeah. I have
and
a lot
somehow
of,
you all wound up in fucking Florida.
Well, a few of us have, and it's amazing.
Way more than a few. I think every other person in Florida is from New York.
Well, that's true. Especially if you go down south.
Jesus
forget it.
Christ.
Man. You not forget South Florida. They call it
my
mini New
bankers
York.
from Florida. My banker.
Oh, is
my
it?
doctor. Everyone. Or not from Florida, from New York.
Oh, they're originally from New York. Well, they're smart.
Christ.
They go from a crazy state to a nice state with no taxes.
Taxes.
But they do that. And anyway, I love that fan appreciation. So we talked about that. And here's another topic I want to talk about, Nick. And this morning I come into the office, and it's Monday. We have the holiday tomorrow, so we're going to get out of here after the show. But I wanted to talk about this because
after the show, there's too much work to be done.
Well, we're going to do some little work. But what happened was I got on the internet, and I always do this, and I check out stuff on who's going on at certain shows that I like to look at and stuff of that nature. Well, they had I saw a thing. Patrick Bet-David had Andrew Tate on. Now, Andrew Tate was saying a few things that I started. Now, I watch Andrew Tate. I don't hate Andrew Tate. He has his way, and I did not like what he was saying. He was comparing things back to the 50s. Like the 50s were great. Yes, we had no school shootings. I agree with that. And
when was the Depression?
Oh, the Great Depression was in the 20s.
20s.
In 1928 was when the market crashed, and that was the Great Depression. And that was really bad. You're talking about food lines and people. My dad grew up during the Depression.
That's fucked.
Yeah, that's how fucking old it was. That's how old I am.
Well, what about your mom?
She's her too.
Okay.
Obviously, the Depression was up until 1940. Well, the war started in 1941.
20 years?
Late 1929 is when the market crashed. 1929.
So did people grow their own food and
they did whatever they had to do. Beg. My dad grew up with no shoes, and you hear the crazy, crazy stories. How people had to live together, and there wasn't none of these programs from the government and all this kind of stuff to help people either. They had bread lines, literally bread and rice lines, and it was
like porridge lines.
Oh yeah, kind of like if you want to call it porridge. I mean, that's just an English saying, but yeah, I mean it was just crazy. If you read about the Depression, the stock market crashed in 1929, and that's when the Great Depression hit, and it went until World War II. World War II started when the Japs bombed Pearl Harbor in 1941. December. The Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor December 7th, 1941. And it was a day that will live in infamy, and that was from the president. Roosevelt say that this is a day that will live in, and it has. I mean, the Arizona has still dead bodies on it, and it's still leaking oil to this day. It's amazing. I went to Pearl Harbor.
Wait, where are the dead bodies?
In the Arizona. It was a battleship that was sunk during when they attacked Hawaii. They attacked Hawaii.
So the ship is leaking oil, not the Earth?
No, the ship is still leaking oil and gas, still to this day. And
how much fucking gas did it have?
It was full of oil, and it's leaking enough that there's a sheen. And it's amazing that there's, they're entombed. The bodies are entombed. There lost, I think, 1,000 people on that ship, something like that, because it happened at 7 a.m. And it was like,
Drowning seems awful.
wow.
Oh, that seems awful.
I don't even know how it is, what they did. Did they drown? Did they just die from the explosion? Again, nobody knows. They haven't been taken out of there. And so it's actually a memorial, and you can actually go on top of the memorial, which I have.
Can you visit it?
Yes.
How far down is it?
No, you don't visit through scuba
okay.
diving. You visit.
It's not a submarine visit tour.
No. There's
good.
literally a platform with all the names, and you can take a boat over there, and you're literally
a platform.
Yeah, it's like it's a memorial. You are above it. It's below you, and that's when you can see the oil leaking. And you literally are on it. You walk on it. It tells the whole story.
In the middle of the ocean?
No, it's in the middle. It's Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor is an island. Well, Pearl Harbor is the military base in Hawaii. Is where the 7th Fleet is actually headquartered.
It's in the ocean.
It's the whole island. Of course, Hawaii is in the middle of the Pacific.
How does a sink ship if it's not in the ocean?
It's in the harbor. It's in Pearl Harbor.
Okay,
Pearl Harbor is a harbor coming from like you'd see the river, the harbor.
Okay.
And it's inside that, and it's an island called Ford Island. And I went to dive school, the Navy dive school on Ford Island. But the Ford Island, and they had what they call Battleship Row. And the battleships were all at these moorings right at the island. And it's just a little island within Pearl Harbor. You come into the harbor, and then they have the dock where the big ships.
I'm going to need a map.
Pearl Harbor, it's Hawaii. It's a little island in the middle of the Pacific. Hawaii is made up of, I think, 7 main islands, like in Oahu, Big Island, Kauai, Maui, Lanai. These are all the islands. And then you go to those islands. We used to, take the islands. I was stationed out there in Hawaii, Alaska. We used to go back.
That seems interesting.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So we went to Pearl when I was at Pearl Harbor. But where was I? Where was I at with the Hawaii? I don't know why we even talked about 7. Oh. Well, anyway, you asked about back in the Depression, and Andrew Tate was talking about the 50s and how things are great. He kind of insinuated things were good. It was great. Why didn't you have school shootings? You didn't. You had the same gun per month, all that. And it's because we had values. We had this. Well, we also what he fails to talk about is we had racism. We had bigotry to the max level. Black people had different bathrooms. You couldn't associate with people. There was women didn't have rights. I mean, it was really at a point where I don't think it was so great. Everybody says the great times of the old days. Well, did you want that? I don't want that. I don't want bigotry, and I don't want racism. Listen, I believe people are human. Blacks, whites, Hispanics, any race, creed, women, they're all humans. People treat people the way they should want to be treated. That's my only goal. And whether it's from sex to drugs to whatever, we really were putting our foot on people's necks. So we weren't and he talked about a lot with God now. Now I guess he's God.
Yeah, I think the God thing, he said it one too many times for you start getting frustrated.
Yeah, well, because, he's talking about, now we need our God in our lives. Well, let's explain God in our lives. Has God fucked things up? Has God, now I don't mean God, persons, people is God. Listen, whatever you worship, great. But don't think that's the reason, because let's take churches. Now, you want to go to church? Did he talk about that? He didn't say churches, because I think church is a big scam.
Well, yeah, he also said the same thing you did. It's like, we all don't have the same God, He was saying that too.
Yeah.
He wasn't saying like, oh, there's one God.
But his theory was because he said, I have to believe in God first and everything else. I don't get it. I don't know why your intelligent level or whatever shouldn't be first. Or, in my opinion, listen, if you need something to have your strength to be a man or strength to be a person with character, then maybe you got to question why you need that person or that other. Because if the God becomes a bad God, then are you going to become a bad person? Like, think of that. Okay, if you listen, the devil's a God. The devil is sitting at the right hand of the Father. That's why does God hate the devil? Why is it so much? Because he's in fear of his power, of the devil, if you really want to get down to that.
I like the one saying that we were talking about where it's like, why is the devil going to torture me for not obeying God? Like, he didn't
Yeah,
either.
yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, if you're bad, you're going to hell. The devil's you're gonna be
That
in
means
fiery
he's,
hell.
like, working with God.
Yeah. What is he, partners? What is
Yeah.
this really, a big scam? And they're just getting money from both of us? No, the devil hates God. He's gonna put you into
you guys
heaven.
are
He's
all
gonna
gonna
give
party
you
and
all the
shit.
women
Yeah.
and the drugs and have fun.
He's gonna be like, good shit, dude.
He's
gonna dap you up as soon as you get to the gates
right
of
away.
hell.
Yeah, you hit
Just
the
a
dab.
nice-
You got the best dab too. Perfect temperature.
Oh, dap, like a good
Oh,
handshake.
and I'm thinking dab.
Like a good handshake. Like, you guys are boys. I'd fucking get you that low temp dab.
Yeah,
Maybe
that
he'll
good
treat
one,
you
you
with
know?
that too. A
Hey,
line of Coke.
Yeah, you got coke, you got some acid, you got some weed. You're really doing it good down there, man. You say, why did I fucking stay alive so long? I should have fucking been bad. But listen, he has his way, obviously, and he believes that, obviously, and that's great. But I don't believe that he's talking about his clan and his tribe and how they have to,
That clan word, was a little weird.
Yeah, the clan word I didn't like. I mean,
It was with a C though, so.
Yeah, oh yeah. It wasn't with a K. I listen. I believe what has happened is he's just getting. I think he got backlash so much. Maybe listen. He had his way. He didn't talk about his schools that was a scam or whatever it was that was making money from people.
It definitely was a pyramid scam for sure.
I mean, yeah, that's what they.
But he figured out the internet from it. That's the reason he blew up. Was because Larry, you can only have so many accounts that mention Larry with under the same IP, and he figured that out. He was like, "Oh, I capped out at 5 accounts." So then he had all these kids join his course, and the way you can level up in his course is if you make shorts and tag.
Is that what it was? Oh,
yeah, that's
wow,
what it is.
What a
But that's
smart
why his
move.
name blew the fuck up because it wasn't under the same IP. So it was just hundreds of different accounts posting at least 50 shorts a day underneath
about Tate.
about him. Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea that's how it was.
Yeah. That was the scam.
Wow, that's a pretty smart
Which also
scam.
isn't really a scam per se.
No, but wasn't
but
the school a scam, or didn't they?
I don't know everything about that.
Yeah.
He said he was teaching people how to make money, so I don't know how much money people
made
got taught
or
how to
whatever.
make, yeah.
I watched some internet stuff on that, but I got to watching his and Patrick Bet-David. I don't think, like you said,
Who is that?
He's some he's an internet
He
guy.
was an athlete. Didn't he? Or was that the
Somebody said
other
he was a
guy?
bodybuilder. I didn't get that.
Okay.
That's what the one other guy said. Who that guy's, I don't know. But I know he has a Valuetainment. It's called. It's down in West Palm Beach or wherever it was. And he did his thing with the mob with Michael Francis and Sammy Gravano and listen, he can listen. That was his gig or whatever it was. But I don't seen him ever bring people on that really. Obviously, he's a very conservative. Very, which is cool, and everybody can be conservatives all you want. But bring people on who have a different opinion that will argue with you, who are intelligent enough to argue with you, or at least, give you a different food for thought. It doesn't seem that he does that. I don't know if he does or not, and he's a speaker.
Yeah, I don't think we watch enough to.
Yeah, I watched enough.
Definitely
I
say
watched
it.
enough where I haven't seen that. I mean,
Well, yeah,
maybe
I see his
there.
clips all the time. So
Yeah, I see clips and I don't see that. Maybe there is. I mean, I'm not gonna. Listen, it's a show that I look at and say, listen, it's just another show. We all have shows on, I do have different people. We argue or stuff all the time.
well, it's in the day and age that everyone's opinion matters.
Well, it should. Why
Yeah.
shouldn't somebody else's opinion matter? My opinion matters.
That's what I'm
Why?
saying,
Because
is-
I got an audience that that like
That's
what I
I'm
talk
saying,
about.
is today you can have anyone watch your thing. It's not like we all have one news.
Right,
local
that's true.
news,
We don't, but you know me, Nick. I'll bring anybody on. I have no qualms with having a discussion, whether it's conservative or a very liberal person, whoever it is, my brother or whatever. You and I can sometimes argue, and I enjoy it. And I tell people all the time, change my mind, man, change it, because I have changed my mind over the course of years. And I don't know how the age of these guys, and I think Patrick Bet-David's probably in his. I'd say his late 40s, maybe. And listen, in my opinion, everybody grows. I'll be 62 in October. So I look at that and say, I've changed my mind a lot over the course of my lifetime. And most of my strongest opinions come from me dealing with something, whether it's the prison system or a business or robberies or whatever it is, most of my opinions come from personal experience. And I think it's not just about reading something and saying, "Oh, I know about it," because we talk about this all the time. Where'd you get that information? You got it from the internet. Well, sometimes the internet's not right. I mean, if you tell me you got information from a personal experience, whether it was me in the hole, I have personal experience of what it's like to be tortured, what it's like to be in confinement for a long time, what it's like to buck the system, how the system works. I did the law for 10 years. So I could tell you how the government acts or works, like we were talking about on with Brad Cohen. I respect Brad Cohen so much because all his opinions come from his knowledge of the law. And that man's been doing the law for 30 years. You got to respect that.
It's very well spoken.
Very well spoken. A great guest. We're going to have him back a lot more. And we didn't do a podcast with him. That'll be a good one because it'll be a long time. And so every opinion, everybody who has an opinion should base it on something. And I get it. You're supposed to read or I respect Mike Tyson a lot because Mike Tyson been through the ring, been through bad relationships, been through the court system in a way where they screwed him.
His balls off on his podcast.
I love that.
He's
so cool about that.
It's so funny.
I love that.
He'll go on other people's podcasts and they'll be like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "Oh, I just ate like 7 grams of mushrooms."
Fuck yeah.
He said nothing's wrong.
7 grams is a lot because I ate the most I ate. I told you,
especially to
about
go
10 and a half.
have like a conversation with someone who's sober, and
Joe-
also be on 7 grams.
Take Joe
of
Rogan.
mushrooms.
Joe Rogan has experience. I like to listen to Joe Rogan because Joe Rogan always speaks on experience, whether it's in the fight game because he was a fighter, whether it was in TV entertainment. He was on TV. He was on the Fear Factor and stuff. And he's a comedian, so he's been on the road. He understands traveling. He understands a lot. So I respect a lot of his opinions.
Very well-rounded.
Very well-rounded.
In the industry.
Totally. And I respect his opinion.
Like
what
UFC fighter have you seen also be like a great comic? Like that shit doesn't go together.
He wasn't a UFC. He was a kickboxer.
Fighter though.
Fighter. He's a definite fighter.
They're all like, you perceive him as like meatheads without like a sense of humor, and then you see Joe just like, oh, I can fucking kill a show on stand-up comedy.
Yeah. I want to go see his live comedy. He's one of the
still
guys.
Doing it.
That's what I heard. He's still doing it. So he's one of the guys I want to see. Who's the guy we're going to see? You and I.
Conrad Tripp.
Conrad Tripp is his name?
Yeah, he's a self-deprecation.
Self-deprecating. Yeah.
Sad and
I love his one
matters.
line is this, guys. You got to listen. He goes, love, they tell me I need a love life. Why should I love life? Why should I have a love life if I don't love life?
How can I have a love life when I don't love life?
It's so funny when you think about that statement. How can I have a love life if I don't love life?
Yeah.
It's so.
And he like stutters and mumbles and like.
I can't wait to see him. When are we seeing him and where are we seeing him?
The 22nd in Tampa.
We're going to Tampa Bay the 22nd of this month to see this guy. We got tickets already, so I don't know if the show's sold out, but I've been watching a few of his clips.
He's been killing it on social media too.
Yeah, social media. He's been killing it, and he's growing, and I'm just looking forward to seeing him. And I think
we DM'd him. You DM'd him through your account, and it was like,
did he answer us?
He said, "You said I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the show." He said, "Keep your expectations low." That was so funny, dude. He said, "Keep
even in the DM, he's deprecating.
Yeah.
No, he answered us.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty
he
cool.
said, "Keep your expectations low."
I love comedians. I've had Mike Marino, who's really funny. He's on my show. You went with us. We went to Mike Marino's show.
And then we went to that underground in New York, and that was hilarious too.
Oh yeah, we went to the underground. Yeah, it was pretty good. Oh, that was really good. That lady
funny.
at the end.
At the very end.
Yeah.
She killed it. Yeah.
She
was
was
just making fun of everyone.
She cut on us too, pretty good. She was like, look at this, dad and son out here. Look at this. Who's the daddy?
She got on this businessman in the back. She was like, "Why are you guys sitting in the dark? Are you jerking off? Like, what's going on?"
She was so funny. Yeah, that was a great I love comedy shows.
I love when a comic can come out and like freestyle on the audience. Like they don't have anything written; they're just making fun of the audience.
The best ever that did that was two people. Was Don Rickles. Don Rickles was one of those like fuck with people, and he'd fuck with racists. He could never get away with it today. He'd do the blacks, the Jews, the everybody. I mean, he was hilarious. To this day, you look online, Don Rickles on shows and stuff. He was just hilarious. Yeah. So was George Carlin. But George Carlin,
do it together, or are they two separate people?
No, they're two separate people.
Oh, okay.
Don, they're old time. George Carlin to me was probably the most thought-provoking comedian ever to live. And anybody will tell, but Joe Rogan will tell you that.
Yeah.
Joe, the most thought-provoking. He would say things that were funny, but they were so true.
Yeah.
That would just, he used to talk about when he gets old, he goes, oh, I like getting to 70. Now I can shit my pants and leave a party and nobody thinks I'm
Is that the guy with the long hair?
Yeah, long hair. He had different, you know.
Yeah, you showed me him. I really like the 85th South Show. It's with Chico Bean and DC Young Fly.
Is it comedy?
It's comedy. It's 3 guys, and they're from, do you know the show with Nick Cannon on MTV?
I know who Nick Cannon is, but I don't know the show.
He runs that show,
No,
it's like a rap battle show. Well, it's 3 of those guys. They started their own comedian tour, and the whole thing is literally they get on stage and they go and they pick on every single person in the
I love
audience. That's all it is. That's not like a setup thing or anything. They'll start making fun of like the employees who work there, like the guards and the waiters. Anyone's free game, and that's what they do.
And they tell you that.
They'll ask you like where you work, and then they'll just start fucking being like, "Wow, you bum," blah 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 blah. Like, wow, how could you do that?
I gotta
for
look
a
at
living?
them. Are they touring still?
Yeah. I wanted to go to one of their shows when they were like a small show, and then I looked it up like 2 months later, and like one of their tickets were like $1,200.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, I ain't going to that either. But now
they do like arenas and shit. It started with like a small intimate show.
I'll tell you a couple of comedians that were great. I saw Lisa Lampanelli. Lisa Lampanelli is the dirtiest comedian. She talks about fucking black guys with big cocks and all this crazy shit. And I'm sitting next to this black couple. There's 2 ladies actually, and they're like looking like, I go, first of all, I'm cracking up. And if you don't know what kind of comic she is, you're the idiot for not looking her up.
Yeah, I love that when people just go and
they walk out like you didn't know who you were going to see. You paid $50 for this ticket, but you don't know who you're seeing.
Yeah.
Lisa Lampanelli, she's very well known. I saw what's his name, Ron White. He's funny. He was a drunk. He used to come out with a cigar and a scotch. And he talk about taters. He was funny. I've seen him a couple of times. I saw Jerry Seinfeld, and he was actually very funny. Oh, my God, was he funny? He had my gut laughing.
He canceled himself.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
Well, that's you.
I'll show you. I'll show you a clip, man. He's not very respected anymore.
Are you kidding me?
Okay.
I want to see that.
Okay.
I want to see that. I want to see that billionaire that's not respected. Okay, but
he
not
started
yet.
calling someone the N-word.
No way.
Yes, he did.
Jerry Seinfeld?
Yes.
Never heard that.
Yes.
Now, if you're talking about Michael Richardson,
nope.
That was
Jerry Seinfeld.
Mike Marino talked about. He was the comic after Michael
Started
Richardson.
calling this black guy the N-word, and it wasn't even like in a funny sense.
When was this?
He like snapped and got angry. Maybe 8 years ago.
Oh no, you're wrong.
Nope.
All right, you show me it. I want to see it.
You want me to pull it up?
Hear that? I want anybody. Yeah, pull it up right now.
Okay.
And I want to see that one. But anyway, I don't believe him. But I love comedy, so I'll go to see comics, and there's certain comics that you like or not. I mean, like I said, George Carlin was one of the best. I've seen him a couple of times live. Unbelievable. One of my favorite comics ever, and he owned the place, is Rodney Dangerfield. Rodney Dangerfield did the movies. His movies to this day are one of my favorites. It's Back to School, Caddyshack, Easy Money with Joe Pesci. Unbelievable. Did you find it?
1 second.
Yeah, he's having a little trouble over here.
No, I'm not.
Oh, fine. Just all you got to do is
about.
Jerry Seinfeld says this word. I want to see that, but I don't think he's going to find that. So anyway, Rodney Dangerfield, and Dangerfield's in New York was a major comedy place that made people. Matter of fact, Andrew Dice Clay, who's in a movie. Matter of fact,
How old are these people?
Oh, they're my age. Or Dice Clay's probably about my age, give or take. Gravesend is a TV show coming out. It's a friend of mine, William DeMeo, did the first season of Gravesend. They just taped season 2. It's coming out right about now. I'm gonna have him on. It's a mob series based in New York of Gravesend. It's a part of Brooklyn, and he's.
What happened to Kramer after his N-word rant?
That's Kramer. Stage? I said Kramer. That's Michael Richardson. That's not Jerry Seinfeld. Just think of that. That's Michael Richardson. And that was what Mike Marino was in this studio telling about. He was the comedian after Michael Richardson and how to clean that up. And that was in the Laugh Factory in California. Jerry Seinfeld, never. He's well respected. Chris Rock, all of those major, Eddie Murphy, they're all great friends.
What's his name? Michael Richardson?
Michael Richardson. Oh, he's been canceled about 8 years ago. You're right. And and Mike Marino was the comedian who the owner of the Laugh Factory says, get on stage and clean him up. That was bad. That was a really bad thing. He's been canceled since then. So I think you just got your comedians messed up, Mr. Nick. See, Nick, Nick, prove wrong. Nick, will you change your mind?
Hey, am I arguing?
No, but will you change your mind?
I just looked it up.
Yeah. Anyway, with comedians, because I'm very big on comedians, and I'm very big on. Listen, I don't think comedians should get canceled. That was a whole different thing. That wasn't a comedy thing. That wasn't a comedy show. He didn't do that to be funny on stage, and some people question him. Like, Sarah Silverman is dirty and funny, and I mean very funny. Sarah Silverman is one of the best. She's great. She's a beautiful woman too. So
I didn't like getting canceled was Louis C.K.
Oh, Louis C.K.
Where all his stand-up was like, I love jerking off and people watching, and then he got canceled for it.
He's back though.
Oh yeah, he's back now. He got canceled for a long time over that shit.
I don't know.
He told you that he liked doing that.
We talked about that exact Louis C.K. thing with Mike Marino. We talked about the cancel culture because of Mike Marino. He's a comedy, and he knows these guys. He's been on stage. He was on a Tonight Show so many times, Mike Marino. So, he did a whole what they call sketch comedy on there, when they had bits and stuff, and he did that. And for a lot, like 100 shows of that. And he's really good, Mike Marino. But anyway, and we talked about the cancel culture, and Louis C.K. shouldn't have been. A lot of comics that shouldn't be canceled because of certain...
That's a brotherhood, too.
It should be. And, let me tell you something. Those comics, you want to talk about a tough job. I mean... Most of them are really, truly depressed and have a lot of crap and stuff. Also, I was thinking about when you just said depressed, what's his name? Andrew Tate said something about medicine. He don't believe in the headache. Oh, I needed a couple of aspirin. He got a headache. I don't care. He goes, I don't care about your headache. And no, we don't have it because I got a zillion things going on in my life. Does anybody care about your headache? The guy didn't ask you to care about your headache. He has the thing throbbing in his head, and if you can get 2 little pills to take that throbbing out of your head,
Larry.
I'll take the aspirin.
Why are you bitching?
No, 100%. Listen, talk about Andrew Tate. He didn't go through shit compared to what I went through. So I mean, I'll go there with Andrew Tate. I've been in the fucking hole for fucking 3 years, fucking in prison for all those years, going through fucking shit, going through mental shit with the government wanting to get your ass and the whole work. So he can talk that about other people, but. Oh, big deal. Guy wants a couple of aspirin to take throbbing out of your head. If you got the technology to do it, why do you got a cell phone, Andrew? Go walk to where you're going and talk to the person. So, because it's better. It's technology.
If you like the 50s so much, get rid of your cell phone.
Yeah, no shit. That's another thing. The 50s were great. Well, get rid of your TV. Get rid of your cable. Get rid of all the shit you got. And, get rid of any workout equipment that was invented after 1950. And fucking live your life. But no. Listen, technologies move forward. People's medicines has moved forward. Listen, do I believe in medicine evolving? Like now they're using mushrooms and they're using ketamine and they're using acid for therapies and stuff. Do I believe in it? He don't believe in psychologists. And he says, well, because that person's who's that person? Doesn't know my life. He's got a point. But he also has a point. They might say 1 or 2 things that can help you.
Even psychologists, I've heard some psychologists say, I really get paid to listen to people talk about their problems until they figure it out. And that's so funny to me.
And it's true.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes a person needs a sounding board.
They don't figure it out. The psychologist doesn't figure it out. You just talk and talk and talk until you're like, maybe.
You know what? With me, when I talk to people, a lot of people ask me, hey, Larry, what do you think of this? And I'll let them talk about whatever problem. It's either I'll try to give them my experience that I went through during that and maybe how I went through something in the hole or whatever, how I survived something. And maybe that'll trigger something that will make them figure it out. Like you said, listen, I often say this with addictions or anything else. You can't treat somebody's addiction unless they know they have an addiction, they want to fix it. Otherwise, what the fuck? They're not going to listen to you. Down deep, they're not going to listen. You can tell me all you want, but things are going good, everything's happy. What do you give a fuck? Now, until somebody says, I got a problem, I need help, or I want to stop, or, Yeah, you could help them in different ways, but they gotta want to do it
That is
more
true,
than
yeah.
you.
I've heard it a lot. Where it's like, oh, I'm ready. It's like, no, you're not.
You're not
You're
ready.
not ready.
No,
You're not
and
ready.
that's okay.
Why would I waste my time? You're not
And
ready.
that is okay. I often people ask me why my program is so successful, and I said because I'm just opening their eyes to a place they don't want to go, and when they're ready and when they want to hit bottom and say, "Man, I ain't going where Mr. Lawton went" or something of that nature, then they can get some information out of it and why it's so bad, and maybe trigger something to say, I ain't gonna fucking get raped in prison. Something like that.
Oh, we
So
are such a good role.
and you know, it wasn't me. I didn't touch a thing, if you noticed. Did not touch
I
a
don't
thing.
know.
Oh, Nick, I did not touch it. But so and anyway, and that is why you know, I look at people and they say, "Well, everybody's got to hit a bottom." People go, "Well, hey, listen, if I knew your bottom, I'll bring you to your bottom, hit it, bring in everything. Be great.
I was
Everybody
about
would
to say,
do that."
a lot of people hit their bottoms a lot.
Well,
You know, and then they
no,
reach
it's
a
not
new
even.
bottom.
It's really not the bottom.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they hit their bottom, and then they reached a new bottom. In a
Nobody
couple
knows their
months.
bottom.
Yeah.
Nobody knows their bottom until they hit it. I thought I hit my bottom when I was arrested. I didn't even hit my bottom when I was arrested. I was facing life in prison, and I didn't hit my bottom. How fucked up is that? I hit my bottom when my buddy killed himself. That is when really things started getting clear for me, if you want to call it that. That is when there's something else in life. There's something that I have to do. There's something, you know, and I'm not talking about God at all. I'm talking about within me that I have to be out here, have to not kill yourself, have to do, you know, a lot of things. And it was because he did. That is what got me in the hole, and my buddy killed himself. Not when I fucking was facing life, not when I was in the hole, not
But
in
you
the
thought,
hole.
right?
Huh?
Did you think? You're
Well,
like, oh, this is the bottom.
No,
No.
I knew it
You were
wasn't.
just like, I'm going
down
through
deep,
shit.
I knew
Yeah,
it wasn't.
yeah.
You know,
I'm just going through it.
just going through it. First of
Yeah.
all, when you're facing life, you're in a fucking another zone. You know, you
Mhm.
just don't get it. You know, it's survival mode. It's how am I going to get out of this? How am I going to, you know, you have a kid, you have kids, you have people at home. They love you. They write you. All the little shit don't mean crap. All the little shit don't mean. I look at people, and to this day, you know me, Nick. No matter what, you see me smile.
Yes.
And
Until you're not.
and then I write, and then
And
what
then you're
happens?
good. You're all good.
I don't ever
all
hold
good.
grudges. I don't
Yeah.
do it. You get over it in a minute, and you do it, and you figure shit out.
Come
and you
back. We're all good.
We're good.
We're
Let's
good.
go. And you start laughing, and you realize that meant shit. And you know it's hard for you because you're young. When you go back and you look back, and you won't even remember the stupid shit, and then the other shit you remember. You go, what it meant nothing. It means. And I'm talking big people think the worst things that happen, your divorce or your marriage or your, you know, whatever the fuck it is, your tickets, your fucking, whatever the fuck, your finances, this. Trust me, after it's fucking going, you look back. When things get down, you always look and say, listen, I got air, I got food, and I got shelter. Truthfully, in the really realm of things, that's the key. And you know what? How you treat people and how the people along the way you treat. If you noticed, and this is the truth, I don't have enemies. You know, people, I get along with everybody. You know, you've seen that, friends, rich, poor, people.
Until you get whacked. And then we'll figure
Until
it
I
out.
whack them. No, I treat everybody, from the waiter to anybody, to the richest guys I know, and they're very wealthy, the same exact way. And I treat them with respect, both every up, down, in between, totally. Because you don't know when people, you know, there's no benefit to treating people, one, that you're better than them, because I'm not. There's no way I am. I am just a regular person, might have more knowledge than you on certain subjects, but not on other subjects, you know, and it could be anybody. So I don't look at people like that, Nick, and say, oh, I'm smarter than him. He's below me. Andrew Tate seems like he does that. I don't know if that is true, but he seems like he's very like above people, and or because he made more money. Well, you know, get in the wrong positions in life, you're gonna find out that means shit, and you're not shit, no matter how tough you think you are either, because there's always someone tougher. I don't give a fuck him, anybody. There's always gonna be someone who will do something to him.
Bill Gates gonna beat his ass.
Bill-
Then Mickey's gonna get him.
You're right. With that kind of money, you know, what I'm getting, even that, there's always someone richer, there's always someone more money, there's always some more power. You think you could be the richest person in the world. You think you're powerful, then the
We gotta
government
watch
steps.
his South Park
Wait,
episode,
then the government steps on your fucking head. You know,
which is what they're doing.
right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't care who you are. There's somebody that's going to be above you. This Illuminati, we know him. We know one of the members. So I love him. He just texted me
Scary.
last night.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he's great.
We'll have to go over that.
Yes, we will. But you know, and I look at that, and I look at just life in general, and I think that's why I'm pretty content. You know, as a person, content, pretty much living in this office. You know, taking care of my mom. I'm very content. Seeing Morty on the couch when I'm here, and it's a contention. It's, you know, having the little things in life that you like. Whether I was telling you it'd be nice to just get in the RV and live in, you know, the Ginny Springs for a month. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. There's so much easy. I don't just look at, I got to have another condo or I got to have another house or some people are.
Well, you did all that.
Yeah, I did. And I found out it didn't make me happy, truly happy. I had boats and horses and limousines and, you know, driver and money. And it truly
Seems like
did.
a lot to keep track of.
You know, it's not even just keeping track because the money was no issue. It's the, I'm truly happy now being who I am and enjoying the things I enjoy, the people I'm around and stuff like that and everything. I think that's the difference, I think, with most people. They don't. I truly enjoy when I'm one-on-one with Cabby Bob or Mark or you or any friend. I'm truly there. I like to be present. I don't like to think it's, what am I doing with him or this or that. I like the guy. I want to hang with him. Like, I sat with him one day. He was here in this chair, and I'm there. We're smoking cigars, having a few scotches. I remember it was great. You know what I mean? The conversation, bullshit, and laughing, smoking a cigar. I like that. I like to be present with anybody who comes in here and, you know, not think, because I enjoy their company. If I didn't, I wouldn't be there. And I think that's important. I think most people want to look at things and say, oh, fuck, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? Listen, I enjoyed the party night. Obviously, I was the last one to leave the fucking party.
Yeah.
Literally. They had to kick me out of the bar. That's rare that your party you leave.
Yeah. I was even like, hey, Larry, like, it's your party.
Wait, then we went to the next bar. They kicked us out of that one.
And then the next one.
And they kicked us out of every place we were. It was a lot of fun, though.
I'm surprised they were open that, like, places down around here shut off their lights at like 9:30.
Yeah, well, and that was Thursday, no less.
Yeah.
Well, they knew we were having a party. So
I'm talking about all the other bars.
I said they knew we were having a party.
Yeah,
We'd be there late.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, anything else we got? You know, I enjoy these Mondays now. We're going to talk to more fans next time. We talked a little bit about the Tate. Talked a little bit about
comics
comics and life. Like, you know, how you look at people and look at life. I think that's important. And I think you got it. You know, you're like that pretty much. You enjoy what you do. You know, you like to be around the people you are around.
I try not to stress about really anything.
It's hard for younger people, but you shouldn't either. I mean, obviously, you know, you're home, you're this, you're dog. You know,
I know it's all like in the grand scheme of things. It's just like
so nothing.
Yeah. Like my problem, like my car. I was like, oh, well, it should happen. You know, like what am I gonna do? Like, why would I be so pissed about? You know, like,
you know,
it's going to happen.
And the minute you do this, oh, why me shit, then you're thinking like, oh, like anybody gives a fuck.
I like that saying. It's when life pushes you, it wants you to push back. It doesn't want you to just sit there. And
no shit.
Bitch
No. Listen, there's the parts of Andrew Tate I like. You know, like do it, do something about it, fix it. You know, go work out, do something. Don't. You know, I like that part.
I like when he's told some kid was like, I'm depressed. I've been on all this medication. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm just like mentally, like physically depressed, like clinically depressed. And he was like, can I get some like help? And Andrew Tate told him that
get off medication.
He was like, get off your medication and go to the gym 6 times a week and get a 6-pack, and then talk to me when you have a 6-pack. And if you don't, like, don't talk to me. And the kid went and got a 6-pack and was like, oh wow, like my life is like way better than it has ever been.
Well, you know, that's part physical and part mental.
Yeah.
Obviously,
well, the 6-pack didn't help his life. What helped his life was the routine.
And it also puts cortisone through your body.
Yeah.
You know, there's certain chemicals that go through your body when you're...
The story wasn't about like, oh, I have a 6-pack, now I'm happy. It's like, oh, I have like this routine and I am doing something. I'm not sitting in my dark room every fucking day.
Yep. Exactly. You know, doing anything. I mean, when I lose weight, when I used to get back on my fast, when I do certain things, I mean, obviously, chemicals physically, you might feel better. You got more energy. When I eat a lot, I get very lethargic. I don't get depressed. I might work more, maybe, sir, but I get more lethargic. Oh, fuck, I want to nap.
Yeah.
You know, and you
Yeah.
too, you're like that already.
Oh, yeah, no,
You're the
when
biggest napper in the fucking world for a young
when
kid.
I eat
Nick
a
eats, he
lot,
goes
I
up, I'm
nap.
done.
I'll take like a 30-minute nap for sure.
Yeah, you're not as me. I take bed. I don't nap.
Yeah, see,
I go to sleep.
When I nap, it's only like 30 minutes. And
Not me.
I'll knock out hard for 30 minutes.
Well, me,
Like,
yeah,
really
but it takes
hard.
you another 30 to get up.
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
Not with naps.
Yeah.
No.
You're a little bit, you're like a nasty little bitch when you get up. But me, when I go to bed, I go,
Fuck you.
when I get up, I go to bed. Like when I don't nap, I will take
Yeah,
my clothes
there's
off,
been-
go in bed,
there's
go under the
been multiple
covers.
times where you're like, I'm in here working, and you'll be like, I'm gonna go talk to Ma.
Or
And
I'm going to
it's
take
been-
a nap.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a nap. I'm gonna go talk to Ma, and it's been 30 minutes, 40 an hour, and I know, oh, he's not gonna be up for another 6 hours.
Oh, no, maybe 3.
No, because even when you're like, wake me up in 2 hours, then it becomes, can I get another hour?
Yeah.
Can I get another hour? And then it turns into 6.
I love to sleep because I usually only go to bed when I need to sleep.
Yeah, not healthy.
Because you know, I stay up till 3, 4 in the morning all night, and then I will crash. Yesterday, I crashed.
Yeah, did you?
I mean,
you were driving. You did a lot.
a lot of stuff, and then I literally crashed. I mean, okay.
Yeah, I was trying to text you yesterday. I was like, he probably is sleeping.
Oh, I crashed, and that was the end of it. It was
Yeah.
done, and I felt good. Then I crashed at night, and I got up this morning. I'm ready to go.
Nice.
Look at me yawning.
Yeah, now you're ready for a nap.
No, I'm not ready for a nap. But anyway, I just want to listen. Anything else to report? Remember, everybody, every Monday, first Monday of a month is going to be fan appreciation. So if you can always just email, it's nicholas.balcom@gmail.com. Text 321-327-2921. They can text. I'm putting it in everywhere. Or in the messages I do, always DM. You can do that. You could.
That's the better way.
I
we'll
got
call them instead of.
No. I'm saying they could. No,
Blasting
I don't
my
want them to call you. They can
No, I
text
said,
you.
Yeah, but it's still a thing where you're dropping the business number for like people to just.
Well, the
spam.
business number's all over the place.
Yeah, I know, but
Well,
it's better to just email.
he just
us your
don't want to be
number.
contacted. He wants to get lazy, Nicholas.
No, it's better to just email us your number and we'll call you instead of you calling us.
I didn't say
at
call.
any
I don't want
hour of the
anybody to
day.
call it. I want them to text. They could
Okay.
take the text,
Still.
write it down, and that's it.
Still.
They got it.
Still. Better
And
to email.
I'm gonna put it in this stuff. But anyway,
It's better to email.
oh,
And then
you
it
better
can
let
go
me
in
know
your
you got
sheet
text.
and everything.
Anyway, we're going to be doing that every Monday, Fan Appreciation Mondays on the first Monday. And that's after the last Friday of the month is the Crime Podcast, which is pretty cool. We're going to start talking about serial killers. We're going to start
The
having
next one's
local
going to be
murders.
about the dogs.
About dogs. We're going to about like how it works with we're going to have that guy on too, right?
Yes,
Who
Scott.
did, yeah, we have Scott on, and he's going to talk to the detective about, how unreliable dogs really are. And we're going to discuss that. So that'll be a really, really good topic. He's going to go on it. I might even ask him to bring a dog handler if he might be able to do that. We'll see. We'll talk to him. That'd be pretty cool too. A law enforcement dog handler. That can be pretty cool. I think because there's cases I know here. They had a guy they called Preston something, and he put people away for a faulty dog handler.
Yeah.
And it's sad. But anyway, guys, I just want to say, great show, Nick. Good job. Listen, every Monday and Friday we are on the podcast. Check it out. Have a great day. Please, please make good choices. And see you Friday.